welcome back to another episode of Guidance from Within. I am your friend and host, Brittany Woods, bridging the seen and unseen worlds of our reality. I am an Akashic Record reader, energy healer, and a spiritual life coach. Today, I want to talk to you about automatic writing and how I've used automatic writing, how it's changed my life, and how you can use automatic writing to be able to channel and talk to your highest self, maybe even your spirit guides when you have some questions that you want answers for. It's a beautiful way to connect to the universe and also allow yourself to be open to a higher consciousness that you can tap into to receive information from. I began automatic writing when I was 14. That age was the year I started learning esoteric healing, which is the energy healing I do. That also is the age I started meditating, and the age I started wanting to sort of journal more intentionally. I would just kind of journal my thoughts and write songs and poems. But at 14, I started doing more of automatic writing, and it opened me up to the possibility that, well, maybe I could be a channeler, maybe I could channel, I don't know, let's try it. So automatic writing is basically where you allow yourself, kind of your human personality ego, to step aside, to take the back seat, so that more of your soul self, your highest self, or if we go a little further, even a spirit guide, a light worker, a light being, may even be able to talk to you and just sort of communicate to you through automatic writing. Do I expect you to start automatic writing and, all of a sudden this great light being has showed up and you start having a relationship with them? And I don't expect that when you start automatic writing, but I do sort of have the hope for you that it at least allows you to become more aware and sensitive, that you yourself can use this tool to communicate to your spirit guides or even loved ones on the other side. Before we start there, all I'm going to do is help guide you into setting up the space, opening the channel. I'm going to teach you how to open up a channel to your highest self. That way you can start talking to your highest self as much as you want. I'm also going to give you tips for how to keep it accurate. So we all have our own filters and we all have our own sort of blocks. The tips I'm going to give you will help you sort of release those filters and blocks so that you're not blocking the information that's coming to you by your human ego. But what we'll start first. We'll set up the space. That's the first thing that you want to do. Can you get to a point to where you can start automatic writing, like on a plane, taking the bus somewhere, maybe while you're waiting in a waiting room for a session or an appointment? Yeah, sure. You can get to the point where you're really good at just with the snap of the fingers jumping into automatic writing in that way. But for a beginner, you might want to have a sacred space set up for you to go to. So what that might look like is there's a couple of pillows on the ground. Maybe you have an altar with a candle or some, sage or incense. Maybe you have an oil diffuser you put on, or your favorite crystals. Maybe you have your nice relaxing music playing. But you're setting up a space that's very inviting to you, and a space that you can fully relax in, a space that you can be vulnerable in and safe in. And as you create that sacred space, that's going to be the place that you begin to write in. That's the place that you go to for your automatic writing practice. And eventually you won't need to have that sacred space. You can start to channel with automatic writing wherever you go. That's kind of what we're leading up to, so that as life takes you where life will take you, you can always have that sort of connection to divine, that connection to your highest self, and it can come more easily and natural to you. I suggest you have a journal where you keep all of these kind of writings in. If you don't have that yet, just grab some paper. Comfortable clothes will always make it easier, right? That's just pretty obvious. Whatever you want to write with, pencil, pen, pick your favorite, doesn't matter. Once you are seated, I suggest no laying down. I suggest just coming into a nice seated position with your spine long and straight. So that way, as you're channeling, it gives you sort of a natural funnel down the spine to channel. So once you're in a comfortable position, you're seated nice and aligned with the spine, nice and straight. I want you to begin square breathing. So you can take a couple of deeper inhales and exhales. You're going to begin focusing towards the heart. Instead of our focus being on what we're hearing, what we're seeing, what we're feeling, all the external, what we're going to do, and you can close your eyes to do this as well, is begin to block all of the external world and go inward. You're going to focus your attention inwards to the heart and inwards to the breath. Beautiful. Deep breaths in and out, focusing inward. If you want to take it further, you can try square breathing. So you're going to breathe in for 4, like inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, pause, hold that inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold that exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're going to continue square breathing in that way so that you can focus on the breath, allow the breath to guide you. Once you feel that you are calm, centered, and you're in sort of a meditative zone, you can do square breathing rounds as many times as you need to. But once you're there in that meditative state, you're going to ground through Mother Earth. So like the roots of a tree, you're going to feel a tether, an energetic tether down your spine, like a golden cord going down your spine, hips, knees, feet. And it's going to ground you all the way to the core of the earth. So your feet are nice and grounded into the core of the earth. The reason we ground is so you begin to focus inwards and then ground, and then we focus upwards. And in order for us to ground the information or to sort of retain the information that's coming from above, it's really nice to ground and be this sort of, you're opening up to be a conduit, a bridge between earth and matter in the 3D and sort of higher vibrational energy. So we ground first. Once you're grounded and once you feel really good, we're going to inhale and bring that focus up the spine. A golden thread reaches up the spine, head, neck, from the top of the head, your crown chakra, about a foot above you. This golden thread extends from the top of your head, about a foot above your body, to your soul light. Your soul light, if you've never connected to your soul light before, when you connect to your soul light, it's very gentle. It may not feel like a huge vibrational shift for you at first. It might feel very easy, gentle, natural. You might not feel anything as you bring your awareness to your soul. Connect and imagine this golden thread from like us as who we are to our soul light, which is about a foot or so above the head. As you can make that connection, like giving your soul a big hug and you're saying, hello, soul. So if you don't want to imagine a golden thread reaching you upwards, you can also just pretend you're giving your soul a big hug. You're connecting to your soul. And then you're going to imagine that you're shining. Your whole body is sort of shining and illuminated with soul energy. It feels good just talking about it. Now, another golden thread is going to reach up, up, up from soul light to source. So you're going to connect to soul, give your soul a hug. But we're not stopping there. We're not keeping our awareness just at the soul. We're going to go up all the way to source. So that golden thread from your heart, from the spine, all the way up to the crown, to the soul, also links you to divine source, the highest consciousness possible that you yourself can penetrate, divine source, and you gain access to that vibration and allow yourself to shine with soul and source energy. Imagine your whole body, and if you want to, even your whole auric energetic field shining, shining super bright with soul and source energy. Once you've made that connection and once you've gone up from soul to source, I want you to just focus on the breath, start noticing your breath, And don't allow yourself too much overthinking. Don't allow yourself too much overthinking as you are opening that channel, because as you connect to soul and source, what you're doing is you're raising your vibration, you're clearing your energy, you are coming into direct intentional contact with your soul, with your highest self, and with source. And we don't want to overthink that process. Allow yourself to feel the vibration of your soul, feel the vibration of source, and naturally allow your body to become the conduit between grounding into earth and these higher vibration, that like the higher vibrational energy that you are a part of. Once you have that connection ready, something that you can use is a small gentle prayer, such as, I now open a channel for my highest good, for information from my highest self and spirit guides to communicate what I need to know at this time. You can create your own prayer. You can create your own mantra or intention behind that once you do those 2 steps. Once you do this, feel free to open your eyes, grab your pen, get your journal ready. You're going to start to write. And once you begin writing, the number one thing that I can assist you with in this, as you begin writing so you don't block the flow, you can pretend you're telling a story. So one thing that might work for you, if you truly feel like your human brain wants to get into the way and take over, once that starts to happen and you start to overthink what you're writing, just go, I'm writing a story. Whatever story wants to come from me today, whatever my soul wants to share with me, I'm going to write this story and just allow it to flow free. You're going to have to keep reminding yourself that you are not attached to the information coming through. So besides reminding yourself that you're writing a story, the second tip that I have for channeling is going to be, you're not attached to what comes through. If your personality brain, like your human ego, tries to hold on and grasp the information that's coming through, you're going to stop the information coming through because you want to analyze it and poke at it, and you want to discredit it or criticize it. The whole point of this is allowing your highest self, source, maybe even a spirit guide shows up and you begin to talk to them as well. You want to keep that channel open and you're not criticizing what comes through. You're not judging it. There's no attachment at all to what flows through you as you continue writing. The third thing I want to mention about this is you're not forcing yourself to write. If you force yourself to do anything, especially when it comes to channeling, you're going to automatically block the information coming through. So pretend like you're writing a story. Maybe the information will come easier that way. You can remind yourself you have no attachment to what you're writing and that it's okay if you don't remember it. It's actually better if you don't remember what's coming through, because that can also be a good indication that you are channeling, because your human brain is kind of out of the way the best that it can be, and you're channeling. The third thing is you're not forcing anything to come through, because if we start to force something that comes through, we're going to block the channel itself. Keep your breathing steady. Write what you feel, hear, see, any memories that want to come up for you. You allow it to flow. You allow it to flow without force, and you allow it to flow without criticism or analyzing it or trying to remember it or judging it. The flow is important. You're going to need to keep practicing this form of flow in order for you to get really good at automatic writing. It's about practicing the flow. Once you feel an energetic pause, once you feel like, yeah, I'm good, I don't think there's anything else that wants to come up and through me at the moment, take a pause, check in with your breath. We're going to close the channel. Thank you for the information. I now close my energy field and come back into my body. You might want to ground. So ground to Mother Earth one more time so that you're really connected, because you're human. You're human. Grounding is going to be a part of your spiritual practice. If it's not already a part of your spiritual practice, I highly recommend some form of grounding activity, whether it be like dancing, going on a walk, taking a hot bath or shower, allowing yourself to ground into the earth energetically. Simple things like that will help you bring your energy back down to earth. Then you can read what you wrote. Allow the information time to process. So sometimes when we're doing automatic writing, it doesn't make sense at first. We might need a couple of days or a week or so to really decipher or have a complete picture of what we've written. Practice, practice, practice. Practice opening that channel to source. Practice your prayers. Practice telling the story without attachment or judgment and without force. And the more that you do this, the more that you'll find there's a flow. The flow gets easier. You don't need a sacred space. You don't need a prayer. You won't even need to think about your breathing. Eventually, you'll get into a space where you can just, with the snap of a fingers almost, go into that energetic space and begin channeling. Well, I hope that you try automatic writing. And if you have tried automatic writing, I hope this helps you deepen that practice. And just a reminder for you that whenever you're doing anything that's along the lines of energy work, energy clearing, channeling, connecting to higher dimensions or to higher forms of consciousness in this way, it's practice. You live in a society, in a world, and even a culture probably, that you don't learn this in school. This is not something that you get practiced in everyday life, usually. You have to practice this, practice your sixth sense, practice channeling. The more that you allow yourself to go into that higher vibrational space where you are automatic writing, the easier and easier it'll get for you. I will also say that I'm 26, and 2.5 years ago, when I was 24, I started channeling the Akashic Records, but I feel my beautiful Akashic Record practice is due to 10 years of automatic writing, 10 years of journaling, 10 years of being an energy healer, and that allows me to be a very effective channeler. And yeah, so you never know where automatic writing will lead you. I am wishing you all the best. If you have any questions about automatic writing or you want to chat with me about it, if this has helped you in any way, you can email me. And please, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe wherever, if you're watching this on YouTube or listening to the podcast, and leave a comment. I would love, love, love to hear your thoughts about these little mini episodes that I create for you. And I just mostly hope that it helps you on your journey. I will see you next week.